Good afternoon, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to Stratford Paddock. My name is Stephen Howson, joined by Patrick and by Joe. We're having a brew. Hopefully you are joining us with a brew, and we're just going to start talking utter about anything and everything Manchester United. Before we get into that, you lot need to hit the like button, and then you need to hit the subscribe button, and then you need to ring that little bell next to it so you make sure you don't miss anything that happens as we go live. We are going to have a watch along later. We'll have the team news, then we'll have a review, all that good caper, and we will have some stuff coming from Molineux as well. We've got a couple of lads down at Molineux, so make sure to keep it locked for Stretford Paddock all the way through the night, and we'll be giving you every single little bit of Manchester United content that you could possibly want. Right, now, the headline, there's a good little intro now. Really good. Didn't even take a breath.
Perfectly done. One take wonder.
Right then, you ball bags. Here's what we're talking about. Rashford replicating Ronaldo. Wodabus, I know is what everyone's saying.
Yeah.
How's he going to do that? Well, we do have some stats to back up a little bit of what Marcus is doing. Now, this year, actually, Marcus and Cristiano had the exact same number of shots per goal, 8.4, which is unclinical. It needs to be probably like 40% better. Half of that would be fantastic. Anything in the 4 point something is mint. So if he can get to like 5.5, that's actually quite clinical. Early in his career, this season, if you compare their two ages that he's just had compared to what Ronaldo had prior to the World Cup, he had 10.8 shots per goal, I think, was what Ronaldo had in that season, which is horrendous. And it was frustrating at the time. So in terms of that, he's a little bit ahead. In terms of the actual goals he's scored so far in his career versus what Ronaldo has scored, he is a little bit ahead. I do think people are getting carried away comparing the guy to Ronaldo. But this all comes on the back of, and the headline comes on the back of what one of the journalists in the Times and the Mirror have also run with it.
I think a lot of them have run with it.
He's doing the same sort of training that
Rennie Mullenstein.
Yeah, they mentioned Rennie Mullenstein. Now I've had Rennie on here, and I've spoken to Rennie about numerous different things, including Marcus and his finishing, and he's not working with Rennie. At least as far as Rashford knows, he's not working with Rennie.
Yeah, but how would he know who he's working with? I'm sure the papers know who he's working with better than him.
Here's what I know. Right. Everybody's doing extras. And someone's just gone, here's a fucking story I think I can get away with chatting shit about. And that's what they've done.
I think it leads to a wider debate, though, right, about when you look at where Ronaldo came from.
About who gets a vote?
What? Where Ronaldo came from? No, sorry. But where Ronaldo comes from, like, in terms
Madeira.
of... Madeira. In terms of the way in which he was taking opportunities and taking shots, trying to make chances, and then he wasn't always converting them. He became more clinical, becomes the best player in the world. I think in a similar way, Rashford, if he has the same work ethic, which I think he does, and which I think he's going to be able to apply himself in the same way. He's one of the few players in the world who you could say has the potential and the physicality to perhaps.
But what Ronaldo did just I've never seen anyone do that before or since that. How he went from the season that Rashford's just had in his own season to then going to 32 the next year.
He
never
took the same number of shots.
Yeah.
All that happened was he scored more goals.
Yeah. But it's just you just don't seem to see that doesn't happen very often, does it? So Ronaldo's almost a strange example, obviously because he went on to score so many goals, but the way his career went from being this sort of show pony who couldn't really get many goals,
no end product,
to that is almost unique to Ronaldo, though, isn't it? Like Messi always seemed to have that clinical side to him, but it was just about him maturing and getting a bit stronger and getting into the game more. Whereas Ronaldo did kind of transform the way he looked and the way he played in a way that I've never seen before or since. So to expect that from Rashford, I think, is putting a bit too much pressure on him or just unlikely. But the idea that he can't improve, like some people said last season, his finishing's not very good, he's not a finisher, and you can't teach that. Of course you can teach that. It's ridiculous. It's one of the biggest fallacies in football that you can't teach finishing. Of course you can teach finishing.
His finishing's improved year on year because he's been training at it and working at it, right? Same with his positioning, same with his running behind. It's all getting better, as it is going to get better year on year.
What I really liked against Chelsea was the ball over the top that Pogba played. The touch that Marcus had to bring it down, honestly, was sensationally good.
That reminded me of Ronaldo. There's a couple of goals he's done that the chop back inside from the left
against Liverpool.
There was a Liverpool and there was another one that was an even better example of it. Just the chop and then up into the top corner.
The goal he scored against West Ham in the FA Cup. What was it? Quarter-final replay or something? Where he sort of does around a bit, just inside, boom.
Killed in the top corner. But there's a few goals, a few times where he really does. That Chelsea goal was especially like that. The touch, the way he was sort of so upright and present the whole time, and he just put it in quickly, no dawdling, no taking time. Like if it had just taken half a step more, he'd have been tackled. But he just had it perfectly. That's a confidence. That's like a surety that he's going to score.
This is a guy that's coming for a lot of criticism, and people go, he's only in the team because he's Mancunian. He clearly is not. He clearly is not. But his stats at this age group,
madness,
better than Terry Henry's goals per game, better than Cristiano Ronaldo's. And I think what's worth taking note of is not only is it better than Cristiano Ronaldo's, but Cristiano Ronaldo produced those numbers in a team where he had Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Wayne Rooney alongside him. Yeah. It was a much better football team with a much better manager.
Rashford's done it in our worst period in modern history.
Yeah. And I think that needs highlighting, and I think that needs celebrating. Now, is he going to go on and have a better career than Wayne Rooney? Probably not. Is he going to have one anywhere near Ronaldo's? Probably not.
Unfortunately for him, he was in a crap team when he was in a period of time where Rooney was winning stuff already.
Yeah, Rooney had already won 2 or 3 Premier Leagues by the time he was 21. Whereas obviously Rashford's
not necessarily
playing in a team that struggles to score 50 goals.
When did he come?
I'm sure he won something. Won one at 21.
Yeah.
But Rashford's in a team that struggles to score 50 goals in a league season. Like that's just ridiculous, isn't it? Like,
let me find this for you because I did this the other day. A little bit of looking into something, and that is
cheeky little look.
Rooney, 18 to 21, 68 goals in 14,000 minutes. 1 goal for every 220.3 minutes. So it's not exactly like mega prolific, but that's what a young striker does.
Yeah.
Now, he mostly played
generation does.
alongside Van Nistelrooy, who did score the goals. And he also played generally up front. That was really before he started drifting wide and coming real deep. He was almost played in a partnership.
Yep.
Now, Rashford's played maybe half of his games down the middle, probably half on the left and a handful on the right. Not really played in a partnership and definitely played in shit teams. 47 goals in 10,536 minutes, 1 goal every 224 minutes. He's 4 minutes off what Rooney was getting in terms of goals per game. It's not bad.
And that's why I think he is going to become one of the world's best players in a few years' time, in 4 years' time, whatever. Whether he's the same level as Ronaldo is...
Hang on, can we just roll this back? He's not the same level as Ronaldo, and he's not going to be the same level as Ronaldo. I think
we might not see a player as good as Ronaldo
ever
for the rest of our life. Let alone
probably won't
in the next 4 years. So he's not going to be
That's
Ronaldo.
Something next level. But
the fact that you can even pull his stats up and hold them up against the guy,
question whether that's a possibility.
If you can consistently get 20 league goals or even 15 plus league goals, 25 plus goals overall in a season. If you can, get that sort of 4 or 5 out of, 10 times or, relatively consistently, then that's a great career for him. So he doesn't need to even be anywhere near what Ronaldo got to be a great striker.
You look at Alan Shearer's record, most Premier League goals, whatever it is. There's only a few candidates who can possibly break that. A BBC did an article about it a few months ago. It's really interesting. Now, you look at your Harry Kanes and your Agueros, and you say they have to carry on playing for many, many years into what a lot of players retire, still get, they need to be 34, 35, still getting 15 plus goals a season.
You say Kane does?
Yeah.
Because he started late, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. You know who hasn't started late, and you know who's going to continue to accelerate? Mason Greenwood. Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
If Marcus Rashford's continue developing, gets to a point where he scores above 20 goals for say 3 seasons.
That's just Premier League, not all goals.
Has a season where he scores 25 plus in 3-4 years time. Then consistently he gets plus 15 this season, almost 20 next season. Boom, boom, boom. If he builds like that and then drops off, still getting plus 15, he's basically the only player who can do it.
But it's so hard to do though, because even
I think Greenwood could overtake him. I think he could overtake him.
Yeah.
Now this is mad because, like we just said, the fact that we're even comparing him to Ronaldo, right? I don't think. I mean, give me a thumbs down if you think Marcus Rashford will be as good as Ronaldo. Give me a thumbs up if you think that he won't. Right? Thumbs up if Ronaldo will not be touched by Rashford by the end of his career. Thumbs down if you think he will. And I'll look at this because I don't think anyone's saying that he will.
No.
But what if I put it to you? In fact, we'll have this one as well. After we've done this one, you guys can have a quick vote on it. will he break Rooney's record or will he come within 10, 15 goals of Rooney's record? Because that's 253 goals.
I think Rooney's underrated.
He's got 200 goals to go. If he plays till he's 31 and he scores 20 goals a season, he's broke it.
I don't think he'll do it. Just because of how good Rooney was and, like I said, the team he played in, the fact that Rashford has to be the number one striker, or at least...
Just 10 years, 20 goals, he's done it.
It's like you're selling me insurance on a car here. 10 years... £20 a year, and then that's it. In 10 years, you've paid off the car. You get to keep that car.
I see, but I think Rashford has the potential to do it. Whether he does,
I think he has the potential to do it.
That's 20 goals all competitions.
Yeah.
He can get 25.
Yeah. How many goals is that?
He gets 25.
If he pays that off earlier,
if he pays that down, and the interest on those
31
goals,
season, then he only has to get.
That's it.
But the chances of getting 30 are very low. Most strikers don't ever get 30 goals in a season in their whole career.
This is how much Ronaldo and Messi have absolutely broken everyone.
People's brains have gone mad.
Because they'll be like, what? He didn't score 50? He must be dog shit. I remember when Cantona scored 23 and was unbelievably amazing for us.
Like Zlatan should be the best striker ever. But he's not, because he's been completely eclipsed by the two best strikers. Look what Zlatan's done over the last 15 years. No one other than maybe Suarez has even got close to it.
Never won a Champions League as well.
He's never won a Champions League. But in terms of goal scoring, getting 30 to 40 goals a year for sort of as long as he has done, and yet people don't even consider him, one of the top players. I think Rashford has to have a real top career to get close to what. But
doesn't that show you I think there's improvements to be made in his game. I think his finishing. Well, I know statistically his finishing can improve. Yeah. I think I'd like to see him take on defenders more one-on-one, because I know he's got the pace to do that. I would like to see him use more skill doing that and less just raw pace to beat people, because we know it's not even fair. But I'd like to see him stand someone up and go around the outside and get a cross in. Yeah. Don't see that enough from him.
No.
There's aspects of his game.
Say you want to see him hit above 15 this season. How many more has he got? He's only got 13 more to go in 37 games. Say he scores again tonight. What it's like with strikers. If he gets injured, all of a sudden he's gone 6 weeks without getting a goal. A couple of bad weeks and he gets injured or something. I think I was watching some highlights of Kaká yesterday, and the way that he takes the ball.
He was all right.
Yeah, he was pretty good. The way he takes the ball, and he's always just sprinting with the ball at his feet. He's not doing that slow half step to go past someone. I think with our counter-attacking style that we're sort of trying to sign
Kaká.
We should sign Kaká. But I think if
Schneider, I heard.
And the same with Ronaldo. You look at those early years of Ronaldo, he's always just at full pace with the ball. Yeah. And you don't see our strikers doing that enough over the last few years. That we've allowed defences to sit so far back that the pace of our strikers has just been completely neutralised. And I think with this new style, the pace of Martial, how good he is on the ball, the pace of Rashford, hopefully we can see them actually being able to use that pace and taking advantage of getting goals.
I wonder if they're going to be able to build an effective partnership going into the season, because that's what the attack depends on it.
We're going a little bit steadier on the right hand side with possibly a matter of Lingard or Dan James or someone not quite as spectacular, not quite as attacking. Yeah. The left hand side, you've almost got a partnership that sits over, because Rashford finds himself down the middle sometimes. Tony Marshall likes to drift out there. Yeah. That might work. It's not balanced, but maybe it doesn't need to be balanced.
Yeah. I think in the Chelsea game, one of their more negative takeaways, was that in the first half, especially Martial and Rashford were often tripping over each other's heels. They'd both want to be on the wing, or at least one of them would be far down the wing and the other one would be on the sort of the corner of the box, the edge of the corner of the box. What we need is, if one of them's going to be on the wing, the other one goes, right, I need to be central striker in the box sort of thing.
I think the right hand side thing. I think maybe we don't need to be. Maybe we can be, slightly one sided and not particularly even. But I think if teams know that we don't have much of a threat down the right hand side, that isn't a good thing. That isn't good. We should be as good down the right as we are down the left. Because why would you not want that?
And that's why we bring in Sancho next summer.
Sancho. Dan James looked good. I thought he played well.
Daniel James for me is a super sub though. I don't know if he's not first team quality right now.
But we don't really have anyone else on that right hand side at all, do we? Which is, I think, something a lot of fans wanted, sort of rectified over the summer, which just didn't happen.
I think because we were going after. We knew that the problem was defence, right? Defence was the big issue. If we could sort our defence out, then we might stand a bit of a chance. Hence why we didn't strengthen the right-hand side. But that's where we need to improve, because the type of football that we play, Lingard suits the pressing part of it. He doesn't necessarily suit the quick counter-attack part of it. doesn't suit particularly either, but is a useful player to have.
And Lingard's good on the ball, but he doesn't really take players on, and he doesn't go past someone and shoot and score goals, does he?
Not all the time, no.
No, you don't see
Which
that.
is why Lingard, when he comes off the bench, is electric because what Lingard's very, very, very good at is pressing, but also spotting gaps in defences and goes into them. If you look at the goals he scores. He scored headers before because he's able to run through the gap and find a place.
I think he's better at 10 than he is on the wing, though.
Yeah, absolutely, no question.
Yeah.
I think it's the same with Mata as well, right? Mata.
He just doesn't have the pace.
I think Mata's at Chelsea and United was one of the most underused players because he was so often played out of position and most underappreciated. Because if he had played in that cam role his entire career, I think he'd have been.
I think unfortunately for him,
imagine him playing in like a team that won a title.
Didn't he win a Champions League with Chelsea? He was around then. He won a World Cup with Spain. Was he in that squad? I think he was. I'm not sure.
I think the only team that he could fit into with his physicality is City. Because I think anyone else playing at a number 10 role, he's not quite quick enough, and if he loses the ball, he can't recover it ever.
If he had sort of hidden away, like a lot of Spanish footballers, I don't say hidden away, but a lot of them like to spend their time in a league that they're comfortable in a league where they can take their time on the ball and pass the ball around. If he had stayed there, he'd probably be considered one of like the better players in that league for most of that career.
Yeah, probably.
Because he came to Chelsea and then he decided to stay in England by going to United.
Yeah.
I think in a way he almost like impacted his sort of legacy.
Well, you could imagine him.
I think I love him, and I think when he's on one, when I watched the Huddersfield game on last Boxing Day, some of the balls he was making cross field were dumb.
Well, he's probably the best we've got at that. But I think if you'd have played at somewhere like Bayern Munich his whole career, in a team that's winning leagues, in a team that can have a bit more of a luxury play like that, I think, like I said, he would be regarded as one of the best attacking midfielders of his generation. But he just the Premier League, he can only ever be so good, I think.
Yeah, because of his lack of physicality.
Yeah, can you imagine it? Barcelona springs to mind in that Xavi role.
Yeah.
Because he's very attacking, but I think he could have played the Xavi role in a team that was that good and that dominant.
He's wonderful on the ball. He's wonderful on the ball. He's probably losing it a little bit now, but it's one of those things where you say one of those players that you wished you had seen in a really, really good team playing in his preferred position, winning titles.
I think I might have said this on every single video for the last month or so. Imagine what the party's going to be like when we win the league again.
It's going to be mint. It's going to be top.
I can't wait.
It's going to happen because it will happen.
It will happen eventually.
We'll win a Premier League.
It will, right?
But you can.
We'll win a Premier League before Liverpool.
Got a Liverpool fan here that's giving us the eyes.
Yeah. I'm quite an optimistic fan
years.
generally. I'm not a one to sort of kick everyone out. This is crap. Sell everyone. But it's been 6 years since we won the title. 7 years.
Is it going to get to 10?
I mean, you can see how we could have another.
I think very easily could.
Yeah, it definitely.
Especially if we're trying to win it with youth, right? But imagine the feeling of Greenwood, Rashford, Garner, Gomez, all around the Premier League trophy. And then a couple of years after that, maybe a Champions League. Oh, that would be...
That's what made that team in the 90s so amazing. And that's why we all had a connection with them. Because it was, we'd seen them. Yeah. I mean, you guys can't see, it's just off camera there. I've got a Class of 92 shirt with my dad's programme from the Class of 92 final. It's right there. As I'm looking at Patrick, it's right above his head. Yeah. And I've got... half the Class of 92 signed it and Rio Ferdinand because my son's an idiot.
His son does a great Rio Ferdinand signature, so he put that on there. He's forged it.
We was at the Class of 92 versus Salford when they'd just taken over, like they had a little friendly game against them, didn't they? And I took my Class of 92 shirt and I went, just get everybody, right? Rio Ferdinand was there. Jaden's like, yeah, I managed to get some real rare ones like Rafi Burke, who you never see, you never hear of. Like, I think you got Chris Casper. I've got Neville Giggs.
Collector's item.
Yeah. And then he's like, I got Rio Ferdinand. I went, fucking what?
I'll be honest though, you just saying to him,
how dare
everyone.
You get Rio Ferdinand's
He did get everyone.
That's on you. That's on you.
Yeah, I think that's bad.
And it's the most obvious one as well because it just says Rio.
Yeah, it's that big.
You can't even just pretend it's somebody else. It just literally says Rio. So I've got a Class of 92 shirt with Rio Ferdinand's signature.
Well, better instructions next time. That'll teach you.
Yeah, I guess it was clearly my fault. But anyway, the reason why that team was so well loved is because Phil Neville is never going to have ever hit the heights of Ryan Giggs. He's never going to have hit the heights of Scholes or David Beckham. But he's part of something, and that might be Scott McTominay. That might be Jimmy Garner. That you don't know who's going to take that role. Greenwood might be the Giggs or the Beckham or the Scholes of that team. Angel Gomez could be the Paul Scholes of this team. When it matures, people forget that it was into their 20s, 21, 22, when the likes of Beckham and Scholes especially really started to make an impact. They made their debuts. I think 4 out of the 6 made their debuts in 92 at 18, 19. Giggs was 91. But I think it was 94 and 95 for Scholes and Neville to come through.
Yeah, and it was and none of those players that made their debuts really truly broke through properly.
No, and you also had Chris Casper, Ronnie Warwick. You had tons of people. Simon Davies. I mean, that was a bit later, but yeah, you had so many players that come in and made their debut, didn't quite fit everything else, and washed out.
That's why I'm excited about the academy, because the sheer number of players who were all going, they might be good enough. He's definitely good enough.
Just need their opportunities.
Like say a Chong. Might be good enough, might not be good enough. And we'll see what happens. Daniel James being brought in, maybe he's good enough, maybe he's not. You know what? If he's not, that's fine. It was a sensible investment. We made the kid's dream, whatever. He moves on, done.
I said this on the warm down we did, which is going out tomorrow. Let's assume that Luke Shaw has now become the weak link of the defence, which not necessarily doesn't mean he's super weak. But it's a strong defence, and if you had to replace any part of it, he might be the part that you choose for. I'm just purely hypothetical. It's not as deep as you're all trying to make it. But let's say that we want to sort Luke Shaw's position out, right? Instead of us going, who can we buy? I would so love it if the club's always first thought was, is Brandon Williams good enough? Is Leo Connor good enough? And then they go, well, let's start him in the League Cup.
Boom. That's what we should be doing this season.
Let's give him half an hour in Europa League against that tricky right winger that they've got. And if he deals with it, give him another half an hour. That's what you're supposed to do. And do you know what? If you give him 7 half an hours to the end of the season, and he's not been good enough,
that's okay.
Then go buy someone.
Well, the thing is, I think with that though, you've got to be bringing those players into a dressing room and a team that is winning games and that is exciting to watch. Because remember when against MK Dons under Van Gaal and they got 4-1, and it was just horrible. If we're playing good football,
you integrate it sensibly with
David
a bit of
Beckham,
experience and a bit of youth. That's how you
David Beckham played in the team in the League Cup that lost to York.
Yeah, no, not that it's the end of people's careers. Of course, you can come back from things like that. But it's especially if United are playing good football. If we're not going to win every game, obviously it's going to be a fight for top 4 most likely. But if there's a good feeling around the club and exciting football, then it's a good platform to bring players like that through.
I don't think it. Of course, it's always better to come into a winning environment,
Absolutely.
to be surrounded by players that win stuff. But I think it's overplayed. Like, you've got to sort everything out. No, because what if Mason Greenwood is just good enough?
Well, yeah,
which he is.
Which is what we saw from Rashford under Van Gaal. Obviously, he just forced his way to the squad.
And because in the League Cup, that's why I want to see us, especially. So take the weakest points on our team now. You'd say the midfield, right? And more
in terms of depth,
the right wing. Yeah. So that's what I want to see. Ghana. I want to see Ghana playing in the League Cup.
But then again,
that'd be exciting.
Talking about if they're good enough, you were talking before about Phil Neville maybe not being quite so good. Would he have thrived? Would he have worked in a Van Gaal team? Someone of that quality, where he played 200-300 games for United, loads of games.
That's what.
But I think he was helped by being in a good team.
You consider him a successful youth academy product?
Oh, of course,
because he saved you buying somebody.
Yeah,
like John O'Shea. People would be like, "Oh, how good was John O'Shea?" Well, I think he's got 400 appearances or something.
7 Premier League
titles. Good enough to be in your team for any length of time, and then moves on and continues playing at Premier League level.
Nicky Butt.
Boom.
Do you know what? Nicky Butt and Ryan Giggs. And because this is what I think, people go, don't put pressure on them. They play for Manchester United. Fuck you, they're under pressure, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
We're not putting anyone under pressure by talking about them on this fucking show.
They don't even hear it. Most of it, they don't see it.
To be fair, they do.
Oh, but they do see it. They watch all of it.
Especially the youngsters.
Everybody watches every single Stretford Paddock.
Especially the youngsters. The youngsters do watch anything that's about them. So you could almost make it say it's worse to talk about a youngster than it is to talk about someone in the first. But anyway, side by side. I don't think it affects anyone near as much. Ryan Giggs and Nicky Butt played in that defeat 4-0 at the Nou Camp when we got torn a new one by Barcelona. I think if you're a good player with a strong mentality, you can come through regardless of the circumstances. A lot of the class of 92 lads made their debut Butt, Beckham, Scholes, they all made their debut at 17-18 in the 92 season when we didn't win anything, when we was very under pressure and bottled it, essentially. Because I think we played 4 matches in 7 days and we didn't get a result in any of them, and that fucked us for the league.
Yeah, well, thank God.
Handed it to Leeds.
Can't happen anymore.
Yeah. And we handed the title to Leeds. Those players was coming in a time when there was a lot of pressure on Fergie. It started to win a couple of cups, but we were still a shit team, really. Like, we didn't have any goals in it. Then we brought in Cantona and everything just fucking changed. It was like someone turned the colour on.
What a beautiful man.
It was, mate, as I was 12 or something at the time, 11, no, I was 9 or 10, I think.
I've still got my Cantona height chart in my room at my mum and dad's house, like, stood next to it. How tall are you next to Cantona?
So I grew up in what was very much like the post-Cantona era, where he was a legend, he was gone. But I still, if my shirt had collar on, pop, goes up, no questions asked.
Cantona made me fall in love with this sport.
Mint.
It's hard to describe because it's not a stats-laden era that we're in, that we were in then versus what it is now.
It doesn't need to be. It's personality.
He had as many assists as he had goals, but you don't find that stat anywhere. I think he had 21 goals or something and like 23 assists in his first season.
It always reminds me of that the film Looking for Eric. There's a scene in it where the guy asks Eric Cantona, "Oh, isn't your favourite memory like that goal you scored where you chipped it?" And he's like, "No, my favourite memory is this assist."
It's a pass.
Yeah, it's a pass.
Do you think that's his actual favourite memory? Or do you think that's?
I reckon it's probably.
What's Danny Boyle's favourite memory?
Maybe. Or maybe he asked Cantona himself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He might well have done. That's a great film, that.
When I cuddled him, I put my head in his chest like he was my granddad.
Did you?
Just proper.
What did he smell like? Can I guess? Did he smell
he's
like...
French, so he smells like wine and
He smelled like a vineyard, a bit of BO but in a nice way, and
French
sport.
I've got a really bad smell, so I didn't really have a good sniff of
Should have had a sniffer dog there with you.
Welcome to the Stretford Paddock, where we discuss what Eric Cantona smells like.
But I got a proper cuddle. The best part of it is, and I'm still trying to find it because it is in my dad's garage somewhere, and I just can't fucking find. It's carnage in there, and I can't find it. Yeah, every garage,
sofas,
it's got all sorts of shit in there, and I can't find it. So I took an Eric the King flag to Iraq and Afghanistan and everything with me. And when we met Cantona, we was kind of I can't remember what the fuck we were waiting for. I think it was Adam to take a picture, and he'd that nervously locked his phone. So it was always my header on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I just went to it and went. You've seen that? I took it to Iraq and Afghanistan with me, and Cantona went like this. Whoa. And I was like,
oh shit, amazing.
And then Cantona goes, "Will you send me this?" And I was like, "Fucking right, I will."
Yeah, what can I have your address, please?
I'll send it to you over a phone. Text, give me your number.
I'll kiss it to you.
He gave me his brother's business card.
Aww.
Cop out.
Such a cop out.
Absolute
send
cop out.
It, mate.
So yeah, fucking sent it immediately and was like,
"Nice.
Do you want to come on my podcast? I'll walk."
Yeah, exactly.
I know where he is. He's in Lisbon. I will find him.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in Lisbon. Lives in Lisbon at the minute.
Is he still on?
Is he still mental?
He's back on Instagram now, isn't he? After the whole egg game.
But Cantona can do whatever the hell he wants. He can do whatever artsy.
I know who sent him that.
Oh, God, take one.
He can do like Schmayvid Schmay.
He can do whatever.
Like those are words.
He can do whatever artsy stuff he wants, and he can still be the most macho man I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's fucking awesome. He's absolutely awesome. We went to that one night show that he did at the Lowry, and it annoyed me because there was clearly a drunk crowd in there, and they just wanted to sing Cantona songs at him.
Yeah.
And they totally interrupted the flow.
You just want to be like, just let him. He's actually he's one of the few footballers, not few, but he's a footballer who is actually so interested and weird and fun and exciting.
And the art stuff he's really interesting.
They had a fucking knob interview him, right? I'm not saying I'd have done a better job, but I fucking absolutely would have done.
I'd have done better. Right? I'll say that.
They had a guy going. They asked him like these PG questions, and Cantona, you could see he was getting frustrated with him because he kind of like looking down, almost shaking his head, like
winning the league with Manchester United.
Worse, right? Really? So Cantona's gone on this unbelievable rant when someone had asked him how he would run a football club, and it was getting interesting as fuck, and it was edge of the seat shit, and he was like. Because obviously his English is fucking terrible still, really, in the grand scheme of things. You can only just about understand him. And he's talking about how you've got to ring fence 21 and unders because without them, the game doesn't fucking exist. And FIFA needs to do this. And the importance of bringing youngsters to the game and how he loves safe standing and behind both goals should just be 21-year-olds. He's going in on all of this sort of stuff. And the guy, he's got a fucking iPad with him. And he goes, yeah. So talk to me about when you got sent off at Selhurst Park and you're like, fuck all all the way off. Are you mad?
So
Ask him a follow-up.
Yeah,
Like, this was going down such a fucking
It's just the
brilliant
basics,
path.
isn't it? People,
Basic journalists who have been given a list of questions.
So the number
Wasn't
7
even a journalist, he was a fucking MC of some sort.
stuff like that, innit? Yeah.
Oh, you just like, mate.
Just wasting such a massive opportunity like that.
That's just what it's like. That's the problem, isn't it?
I actually pitched some stuff to Otro, and I don't know if it's going to come off or not. They actually have started using, they call it talent, which is obviously outside presenters. I don't know how much everyone saw of Otro. It's Cantona signed up to it, Messi, Suarez. David Beckham's a big part of it, which is how it was supposed to have Beckham for the Legends weekend. And obviously Cantona's on it, Lukaku was on it. I think they got Gabriel Jesus, Mendy. There's
massive.
Lots of players.
It's huge, yeah. There's tons of people that are on it. And they asked me to pitch some stuff that I would do with different legends. So I pitched some stuff with Beckham. They said Beckham's really up for reminiscing. So one of the things that we'd spoke about to do with Beckham was to take him back to the old lady that lived opposite the cliff, that used to be his landlady, and just sit there. No matter what her kitchen looked like, it'd have been perfect. No matter what it looks like. If she's got pictures up, mint. If she's not, mint. Like, it doesn't matter.
No.
Her, me, Beckham sitting over Brew. And I was like, yeah, we like it. We'll pitch it to him. It's not come off. And then he was like, what do you want to do with Cantona? And I was like, can he legally adopt me?
Yeah.
Like, is that a thing we can do?
Just move into his house for a bit.
And they went, he's really interested in, obviously, family. He's really interested in... obviously, he's like philosophy. He's interested in immigration. He's got loads of fucking mad feelings on that, and he doesn't want to talk about football. And you're like,
how many footballers, like, do you know have like a really well-rounded personality to the point where it's like you're interested in what they're talking about?
But you're not really allowed to find out anymore.
No, but
that's the problem. Because Rooney had a hilarious personality, and it was slowly squashed out of him. But I'm sure a lot of players have more of a personality than you think. But Cantona's obviously one that never either didn't take the training or was like, see you later. So he's a great one.
I pitched a number of things to him, and they did one. They did it without me, unfortunately, but they did one which was, I think the heritage of Cantona comes from Sardinia. I think it comes from Sicily. It comes from a few different places. Barcelona. I think his family were migrants that all found themselves in Marseille in France. And one of the ideas that I had was to take him to watch a match in those areas and then talk to him about what was going on. I also put all sorts of crazy shit in the pitch as well, like just teach me how to drink wine, because I haven't got a fucking clue.
Hell yeah.
And how good is that?
Just you in like an old farmhouse, like
just
tasting
sitting
wine,
there, just getting smashed with Cantona. I'd be like, is this real life?
And then also you just pop a ball out. You just do kick-ups with Cantona, both absolutely bladdered. That'd be so good.
It's one of them that you just go, is this real?
Yeah.
Like, even having the meetings with Otro to discuss these things, you kind of like, this is never.
Do they call him Eric, or do they call him Cantona, or do they call him, what do they call him? The King?
I'd have called him the King.
Yeah.
I called him my God one year when I saw him. He just laughed at me. I fucking love Eric. Oh my God. Right, should we see what you knobheads are saying in the comments? Let's have a look.
That's not like viewers, God.
Like the video, nearly 1,000 people watching. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you have subscribed. If you haven't, fucking get subscribed. And like the video. Can't find any actual questions. Looks like there's just a chat going on amongst everyone in the comments.
A lot of people
That's
talking.
good. That's what it should be like.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah,
Yeah, it should. Should we talk a little bit about the Wolves game, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what? We have got a Wolves game coming up in like 2 hours. So
What do you think they're doing right now, players? Are they eating their pasta by this point?
probably just getting to the stadium, I imagine, at this time.
Yeah.
Not far off it.
What we're thinking, predictions wise, do you have?
I'm going to predict that we will be doing a watch along for the Wolves game.
Man, look at this guy.
Hey, did you like that?
Professionalism.
Which is why
That's why you need to subscribe.
So
And
you
that's
get
why you need to hit the notification button and come and join us.
How does he do it? It's years of practice.
So yeah, on the watch along we've got me and Joe. We're getting rid of him. We're going to have brother
I don't know
Omar,
why.
and we've got Joe McGrath coming in as well. Who wants fish and chips tonight for the match?
I love a bit of fish and chips, mate.
With curry sauce though.
Yes,
Curry sauce, or
absolutely,
gravy,
no
or
question.
peas, or whatever.
Curry
A
sauce.
bit of moist.
Where'd you
Fish
stand
chips,
on
curry sauce.
on mushy peas?
Love it.
Yep, but I wouldn't have. If I was having mushy peas, I wouldn't have it alongside curry sauce. I'd have one or the other.
I like a bit of both.
Gravy with mushy peas.
Curry sauce to
Got a
dip your
party.
fish in.
Boom.
Curry sauce and mushy peas. I think you need to have a conversation with
That's a
someone.
hard thing
I
to
wouldn't
do.
allow them both on the same plate, but in the eating arena with your little bread and butter with your cup of tea.
In the eating arena, I like that.
And I like to make. You're going to take the piss out of this, but
I absolutely am.
I like to make. Do you know when you put so you put salt and vinegar on your
Right,
chips?
before you say this, can I just say, when we was in Australia and Singapore,
No.
Joe ate some of the most insane shit.
True.
This guy today, he brought in a packet of cold prawns and ate it for lunch.
He says that like that's weird.
That's absolutely
People
weird.
eat prawn salad
Please tell me that's weird.
Please get in the comments if you think. Just say, yeah, that's weird. Or no, that's totally normal.
And they were frozen a bit actually, which made them a bit
what the fuck?
less
You
palatable.
can't
Right.
do that.
So, do you know when you put salt and vinegar on your chips, and all of a sudden, yeah, they taste great. They're soggy. The vinegar's sogged your chips out.
I think that's what you call over vinegar in your chips.
Yeah,
Because I like them tangy.
You want it nice and crunchy, and that's it's got to be a bit of tang.
Right.
But you don't drown. You don't bathe them in vinegar.
So, all right. So let me ask you a question.
You ever had?
I don't know. I don't really go around ranking every meal.
I can tell you mine right now.
I eat a lot.
Easy. Ultra Fish Bar. Their curry sauce is next level.
Next level.
Has anyone been to Alan Paul Fong's in Droylsden, right? I think he's got a 1 star on the health thing, which means that you know it's absolutely banging. Because if you've
That's
got
not
1
what
star,
that means,
that's what
by
it
the
means,
way.
right?
It's
if
not. It means that there's rats and
if you're
living
1
animals
star
on the meat.
and you can keep going in business, you know you're banging.
Right.
Logic.
I don't think that. Anyway,
Just because he didn't wash his hands after a piss, right?
Yeah.
That actually adds to the battered sausage flavour.
That means there's fecal matter in the food. That's not washing your hands. There's like poo in stuff.
Zephyr Gaming says, weird lol.
What's weird? Right, I never even got to it. So what I like to do to avoid... Let me just get this out of the way quickly.
The
So what I
real
like to
product in
do...
the chats, it might actually be.
What I like to do is to avoid my chips getting soggy, I make a little salt and vinegar emulsion on the one
think we're
side
talking about the
and then
prawns
dip
more,
my
to be honest
chips
with
in that. So they're still crispy at the point of mouth contact.
You haven't answered the prawns issue.
What? Prawns are fine, mate.
No, not cold.
Prawn
on their own.
cocktail, that's a cold prawn
We went
dish.
to
It's a classic.
eat. We went to eat street food
Done you there?
in Singapore, and it was, what would you say, like top 3 meals you've ever had in your
it's
life?
insane. It's
It
so
was
good.
fucking sensational, and it was about
Fish heads.
I think it was about £4 it cost us in the
it was
grand
really
scheme of
cheap.
things. It was so cheap. What did you have?
What?
Did you have octopus or something like that?
No, I had raw scallop dumplings.
What else did you have?
Everybody in the studio is laughing at you.
I
That is
had
the most
a
weird thing we've got.
lobster and prawn larb, which is a traditional Singapore, or I think it's either Singapore or nearby, maybe Bali curry. It's like a coconut type curry. I had some prawns in that.
Of course, you had prawns.
Bit.
I don't think.
What did you have? Then?
I don't think that's
You
the
just
traditional
had a beef sandwich.
I feel like
You just had
having
toast
prawns, I feel like
every
having
meal because
prawns
he's
is
normal.
not the traditional.
What did you? You had weird stuff as well.
I had a chicken curry, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
I had
standard.
Essentially, what's like a Nando's grilled chicken.
Yeah.
You got a Nando's delivered from England.
What did
to
I have?
Singapore. I don't remember. We all shared.
I went out there with it.
Yeah, exactly,
I think I
yeah.
had some. I think I either had some dumplings. No, I had beef wontons. No, pork wontons. I had, which were.
See? That sounds great.
And there's something else I had as well. Because there was a guy called Hunter that was showing us around. Shout out to Hunter, who did buy us stingray as well.
See?
We had barbecue sauce stingray, which was. Do you know what? If I had to describe it, because I'd never eaten stingray prior to this, it was like wet chicken, wasn't it?
Yeah, big wet chicken. Big flat wet chicken.
Was it
actually good? Was it?
Yeah,
It was really nice. Flat wet chicken, mate.
Flat
You
wet
never
chicken.
ordered
It's
that?
just like
barbecue
overly wet chicken with barbecue sauce in it. Yeah.
Right, should we talk about the Wolves game?
Go on, mate.
You got halfway to a prediction, then we started talking about flat wet chicken.
Listen, if anyone can fucking derail a conversation to talk about food,
It's
this
Stephen
guy.
Howson.
Look, I'm probably going to end up with a food show at some point in the next week or something.
You got the pizza club, which is.
Oh yeah, I guess.
It's close.
It's close.
No, I
You
mean,
need to start
one
eating
actually
live
cooking.
on that.
You actually cooking that?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Are you sure that-
I'm
are
a
you sure
pretty
that-
good cook.
The
I think
amount-
I can definitely get better. But
From
I'm
what you
pretty
get
good
for
cook.
lunch, are you sure it's not going to be you just not cooking and ordering stuff from the
Now, here's the
bedroom?
thing. Because I can't be arsed cooking and we only have a microwave here and I hate microwave food, I like my shit fucking done fresh, either on a fucking grill or just some shit like that. I fucking hate microwave food. And the other option is eating cold food, and that can fuck off and all. So I go with Deliveroo. We definitely should be fucking sponsoring this
Chef
after the shout out that
Deliveroo.
they've just got. And to be fair, they should be sponsoring it for how much we spend with them. Jesus.
Yeah.
What,
Imagine if you got
you-
50%
All right, how much I spend.
Basically, you.
Buy a new house.
I don't have that sort of money. I'm a student. That's not for me, is it?
Score prediction for the Wolves game.
Oh, we're talking football. So,
What do you reckon?
I think 3-0 United.
Oh my word! No, not a clean
lost
sheet.
it.
Nowhere a clean sheet. 2 clean sheets
What,
in a
with
row.
fucking Slabhead and Wan-Bissaka?
Two clean sheets in a row. It doesn't matter. Luke Shaw will be out of position.
Mate, we had like how many clean sheets on pre-season? Who scored against us? AC Milan?
AC Milan.
That was the only team who scored against us,
I'm
right?
going 3-1.
Or Tottenham
I
scored
think we'll
against
win.
us?
But it'll be a tough game.
I think it's going to be
a tough
way
game.
harder than that. Solskjaer's never won at the Molineux. We haven't won there in 3. I think we haven't won there in our last 9 visits.
It's a horrible place to go now.
I think Mason Greenwood's never not won against them as well.
That's true. That is true. I think 1-0 United in an absolutely horrible.
No,
game.
I think it'll be a horrible 3-1 though. So we'll go down. We'll come back before the half is over. It'll be 1-1, and then we'll get a goal in like the 70th minute, and then on the counter, like after sustaining a lot of pressure, Daniel James down the other end of the pitch wins a penalty or scores a goal, something like that.
What's the best food you've ever had at a match?
A match? Ooh.
See, that's kind of just got
A football
like
match?
2 streams.
A football match? Or can it be any
I'm
match?
going to open up because I know you're going to talk about cricket here.
I can tell you now. Right now.
Might do.
The soup at Finn Harps has won awards, so the soup at Finn Harps.
Right, if anyone's favourite food is
The
soup,
it's a national institution.
that is so much worse than eating
it's an institution.
dumplings.
Having soup
I can get
at
attacked
Finn
for
Harps is important.
Fucking soup.
Soup.
Do you get any bread around to dip in it, or you just got to drink
You
it
can
out
get
of
me
a
a bread
cup?
if you want. Yeah. It's
less weird if there's
very
bread.
important. It's very, very important.
What,
There's actually
hang
a
on,
video.
what flavour soup?
It's just like chicken.
just chicken.
Just
soup.
chicken.
Chicken,
I
onion.
don't agree with that. I think soup's
2
bad.
old women have made the soup there for years and it's mint. So you go.
What happens when they die?
The soup dies.
They've taught other people how to make the soup. There's
Have
other
they?
people there now, yeah. So soup.
What's the best thing you've eaten at a football match?
Do you know what? I was well disappointed with a hot dog at the ball game in San Francisco because I was like, this is an American
it, yeah.
institution. This has got to be the... No, it's shite.
Is it like one of them rollovers that you get over here?
Yeah.
So someone's just drilled the most tepid little
It
dog.
was totally wrapped in tinfoil, which meant I had a soggy bun.
Yeah.
No to soggy buns.
No to soggy buns.
Hashtag no.
I'll tell you what,
soggy
a
dry
couple of years
buns.
ago when I went to watch Salford, I got a pie, chips and peas from there. It was like $2.50.
Rugby or
Oh,
football?
very decent.
Football.
Very
That was
decent.
pretty good. Pie, chips, peas, gravy.
Berry has a good pie and peas combination.
Apparently, Preston's butter pie is supposed to be decent.
Butter pie?
Butter pie.
do them in-
butter pie is a Lancashire thing.
Butter pie?
Potato.
Has that
butter
any
pie.
chicken? No. Slab a bit
It's
of butter
literally
in.
potatoes, butter, pie.
My mate Aidan keeps on telling me
Fantastic.
butter pie.
Really good. Really
You got to
nice.
say it like that, though. Butter pie.
All right,
Otherwise,
okay.
what's the point?
United's not great.
No, it
The
needs to be
pies
good,
are
doesn't it?
nuclear. You have to buy it, put it on the cold concrete, and then
At the
consume
end
it
of the
half
end of the game, you
time.
might have a chance.
Yeah. It's fucking
Yeah, they're
ridiculous.
too hot. They are really hot.
Yeah.
There's the food at United generally is pretty poor, isn't it?
Yeah,
Let's
and
face it.
it's gone up in price again.
Again. Sorry, $7.80 for
As
a
if the
pie,
beer
not
could be
enough.
more expensive.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it?
Lower your prices, Manchester United. Lower your prices. That's it. We're not going to get a deal with them anytime soon.
Stop talking about food, someone says there.
Shut the fuck
No, we
up.
like
This is
food.
Howson's Brew. It's literally about tea.
Yeah,
it's
tea,
literally about
food. What goes with tea? Pie.
And are we talking
Pie,
about
fish and
food
chips.
at the match?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, someone saying Doubtberry has that at a minute, not served this year anyway.
That's actually
Come on, lads.
Yeah,
come on.
it's a shame.
It's a shame.
That is actually
Bolton
really a
as
shame,
well.
isn't it?
It's a
horrible.
shame.
They've had
I
to
don't-
postpone the game, Bolton.
It's mad though because this country has got. When you think of American sports and the way it's all run in America, you're essentially looking at an area the size of England has like one professional team in
I
each
know.
sport, which is mental. Because when you think Greater Manchester
And that's why
has so many professional,
That's why
teams.
franchises suck.
Yeah, because then they'll just leave.
There's no history to it, really.
No. The
Whereas-
LA Rams. You mean St. Louis Rams?
Yeah.
It's happened so many times over the years.
It's so dumb. Another
United
NFL
pie
fan
says
is
Alex
shaking his
Thompson.
head
United
now.
pie is not a bad one. It's got a bit of cheese in it. It's got chili in there, a bit of beef. It's all right.
Something
What we should do, we should do like we just get like
Food
one of the 92 grounds. We just tell you what the pie is and you tell us the ingredients. I reckon you'd know a lot of them. You can just name that pie. You just see like a real zoomed in picture. That is that's the cheese and onion
that's
pie
the-
at Coventry. That
That's
is.
definitely one of Pucker Pie's chicken and mushroom.
Yeah, I know what that
pork
is.
pie at Charlton.
Oh, look at that. That's
We
the
did. In fact, was that your
Swindon
idea,
Town
Jake?
special.
Someone's idea was to go to every ground and just have a pie there.
It's a thing. You can go online. There's like websites where people just go.
I'm
I'm
sure.
fine grounds, but we can do it in video format.
That'd be great.
There you go.
And you get to eat a load, you get to eat 92 pies.
Yeah.
Is it 92? How many grounds?
92.
Yeah.
Do ground hopping, but you don't care about the ground.
Yeah,
you care about
there
the
was
pies.
something I pitched to TFR before they went utter dog shit, and it was to break the world record for doing the 92. To basically wipe myself out at zero. I'm on about like 40 something, but
Yeah.
wipe myself out, pretend I'm at zero,
all of them.
break the world record to do them because the world record's about 190 days, which is a little over 6 months. And this is a guy that did it with a full-time job. I could just fucking.
Whereas
go.
he's got nothing better to be doing.
I've got absolutely fuck up making content, brother. That's what I'm doing.
If you
Do you have to
vlog
watch?
that,
Do you have to watch a
Actually-
game at each one?
So what yeah,
Okay.
full 90 minutes.
Right.
So I was like, right, you can definitely do this.
Yeah.
And you can even do it in 100 days or less because there is a match on every day.
yeah.
What the best way to do it is to make sure that you've got London on a couple of weekends and you can get free games in sometimes on a London early kickoff
In a day.
Saturday,
lunchtime, late
Saturday,
kickoff. If you
Sundays.
can line them up,
Monday
you
night
can get
football.
3. Yeah, so that's where you really start to make ground because there's going to be some random Tuesdays and Wednesdays where there's nothing you can do.
Now, does it have to be the team that plays their home games every week at that ground, or can it be an under-23s game?
No, it has to be a first team.
It has to be a first team.
That was the rules of it.
At that ground.
Trying to find
First team game.
That's doable. You could break that record.
So
Absolutely.
we could. We looked into the logistics of it. We figured out we could do it in about 95 days. And it was like 2-3 years ago. They looked at the fixture list and they was going to have a moped guy that would come and pick me up from like the early kickoff in London.
Sorry, a Deliveroo driver.
Yeah.
He was bringing in food anyway, so he might as well.
Can I up on the back, mate?
And then you'd get to the 3 o'clock, and then you could get to the evening kickoff, and you'd have to do that a couple of times. They spoke to, I believe, Vauxhall about sponsoring it because we were going to drive there for most of them.
We should do it.
And they also spoke to, I believe it was Ginsters to sponsor it. I believe they ended up asking for too much money as a sponsorship, so that's why it didn't happen.
Nice.
Now, TFR have actually started to do it. But they're doing it like one every month.
So they're not going to break the record then? They're
not going for the record. They're just ground hopping. So they've just gone,
There's a million people
here's
on
an
YouTube.
idea that's amazing. Let's just fuck it up and do it not as good.
There's a million people on YouTube with ground hop. Some of them, some great vlogs, but they're not trying to
We
go
was
for
going to try and make, I think the way we worked it out, I was going to try and make like 10 or 12 episodes. So like essentially one episode a week. Yeah. So that would start with a few seconds almost, 30, 40 seconds from each of the games that you visited.
Yeah.
And you've got to record yourself there at full time, kick off and full time. But we would also do that in the middle of it. Go and taste the food, rate the atmosphere, talk about the price.
That's a good thing to do.
I think it would have been an excellent thing. I can't do it now with a newborn, but it's something I would like to do.
You can fund me and Joe doing it though. So
if we had a random football channel, it would be one of the first strands I did.
Yeah. Because that would be fun, wouldn't it?
Paddock.
Not only that, you go and make friends and connections and network with people at all of these grounds, whether that's content creators that write fanzines, whether that's people that do YouTube, whatever it is, you go and make connections with all of these places, and that's what you're supposed to have. And if you had a football channel that covered all football, that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, TFR had such a fucking lineup, man. They had Dave, McCullough, like Rob Armstrong, True Geordie. They had so many fucking absolute belting fucking people. Imagine if you tried to put a channel together now with that level of people.
You'd have to
Lawrence and fucking Statman Dave. It'd be insane.
Yeah.
I reckon.
What about Pogba?
What about?
I reckon if you go on any YouTube video that's been put out in the last 4 years, that comment is there somewhere. What about Pogba, mate? I'm reviewing maps. How is it? Like, I'm discussing whether you can like.
Can you guys talk about football? Save this discussion.
We've been talking about football for the last 40 minutes.
This is
the 92 football grounds in England is football.
Among three blokes just talking about anything.
We were talking about football.
That's what you want. That's what.
Yeah, we was literally talking about football.
I know.
Football grounds.
Yeah.
And because I'd love to go and attend a match at every single one of them grounds. That's an awesome thing.
Yeah,
it would be great. It would be really good.
I think he's saying wrap it up.
Nah, he was doing this.
We haven't been talking for that long, have we? 10
like
minutes?
a naughty little cheerleader, wasn't he, in the background?
I don't know how long we talked for. About 45 minutes.
It's been enjoyable, though, hasn't it?
Super professional.
And it's been about football
about
for probably 85%
genuine
of
topics. Spoke about everything that I put in the description. Video.
Looked at that.
We're supposed to win 5-2 tonight, though, according to BT.
Yeah, according to BT's the script, we're winning 5-2 tonight, so lump in on that. And if you win, I'll
give us half the money because we owe it. We'll see you for it.
Daniel James. Thanks for tuning in, brother. I thought you was playing tonight. Says, do you think United support Brexit given the amount of British players they're signing? I don't know if they support it.
I think they're aware
I think
of
they're preempting issues with it, which would probably be a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
You just miss beers. Go, 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 go.
There's plenty of beer here.
I am trying to cut down on my beer today. My physio today was talking about beer and he was like, you need to drink less beer. I was like...
How could he was massaging him and all of a sudden a jet of Amstel just shot straight out of his knee.
I was like,
you need to have less beer, mate.
He had one just down his pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Drinking
ready to go at any moment. Ready to go at any moment.
One sec, Doc.
Chris Joseph here, trying to turn this into a bloody actual football podcast, says, what are your opinions on Ollie's tactics?
Wow.
Good, brilliant.
Do watch-alongs. Well, Keen, there is a watch-along starting
Subscribe.
in precisely
2 hours.
2 hours.
And if you're not subscribed to it, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Go ahead, notifications.
Subscribe, notifications, jobs are good un, and I better see you on our watch-along in approximately 2 hours on this here very channel.
Remember the name.
Yeah, remember the name. So what are your opinions on Ollie's tactics? I thought it was spot on against Chelsea.
Spot on.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be, hopefully he's like flexible when you come up against teams that demand it, but the idea of counter-attacking, fast-paced football, pressing, perfect, United way.
Yeah, I like that. It seems as though we've got a style that can outlast managers, outlast players. We've got more of an identity back. I think that going forward can only be a good thing.
I hope our identity is Solskjaer's identity, because I fucking don't know where you go. Let's say they go, it don't work. Where the fuck do we go?
That's what I was writing about earlier. Is because what we've been screaming for the past 3 years or so is, please give us identity. Let's play attacking football. Let's play youth. If Ole does that, which he's doing, and it fails, our identity, what we see as attacking and youth, is more threatened than ever, because they'll go, right, that didn't work. In comes another overpaid Galactico who's going to be crap.
But hopefully there won't.
It's Chelsea's identity.
Hopefully
I don't want a business identity. I want the football team, and not as a business, but as what it means to millions of people as a family and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's huge. Is Manchester United's identity isn't just being a successful football team.
No.
It's being a successful football team that does things in a certain way.
It's been a proper football team that gets success, because a lot of proper football teams won't get success. A lot of football teams that get
seems
success
to get called not a proper football team
teams
as well, which is a bit of a piss take, because
we are
absolutely
in comparison to other teams in the top
80
six.
years of having one of our homegrown in the squad.
And also, if you look at all
There's
the
there's very few football teams that have our success, and you can say proper football team.
No.
we're the only us and Arsenal are the only teams that have won the Premier League, except Leicester, I guess. But the only teams that have had any.
I won't mention from Merseyside.
Any teams that have had any sustained success in the Premier League era that haven't got their money from oil. Well, basically, it is oil, isn't it? Is Man United?
Jack Walker's wasn't oil.
I don't even know what that is.
I think it was toilet paper. Am I wrong on that? Or was that a Reddit shoot like meme at the time that I just fucking fell for?
And toilet paper.
Well, you're not wrong, are you?
We're still on now, boy.
He was the last guy that was like a local businessman that bought his football team and made them a success. The Blackburn Rovers owner. But he did pump money
guy
into
owned Wigan for years as well.
the guy that broke his leg in the final, never mentioned it.
What, really? That's a shame.
Let's make Galacticos not sign them. That will help the business identity. Yeah, that's Stuart Lee. Good comment, mate. What kind of meal did you fancy when City got VAR'd again?
Humble pie,
A big
please.
juicy steak.
A nice slice of humble pie.
I was actually eating at the time.
What were you eating?
Shock horror for everybody.
Just intravenously.
Welcome to the food
asleep, but you had some gravy going straight through the veins.
I have to, when United aren't playing of a weekend, I have to spend time with the wife. So we'd gone out to eat. And,
Why do you want to do that?
I just at somewhere cheap and cheerful. Like, we went to TGI's.
You went to TGI's, nice.
TGI's, you got to have the JD chicken strips.
Not sponsored.
Not
sponsored again.
And also, they do something called a boneless chicken wing. It's basically like a chicken nugget almost, but it's not battered. It's just... and they're fucking outrageously good with blue cheese, if you know what I'm saying.
This is getting more and more like an advert for various food companies.
Look,
He's
don't
trying his
worry
best.
About it.
He wants sponsorship. He wants TGI's.
Are we going to have a Coke
Deliveroo.
in the middle of a minute?
I am overweight.
It beats headphones on.
I like food, right? Don't know if anyone's noticed.
He likes his food.
I do like my food.
Yeah, and he's willing to take any sort of
physical
sponsorship he can.
Beefcake. I stepped on the scales this morning.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah.
Can we guess?
You can try.
I'm good. I want to keep
What, in stone?
I want to keep
Do it in pounds.
Okay. I'm
£45.
I'm going to say
in sterling.
£265.
The upper limit of the UFC's heavyweight division.
That's what Brock Lesnar weighs, who is, 7 inches taller than you?
Is he 7 inches?
I don't know. He's
5 inches, I think.
5 inches taller, and whatever this is.
Jacked.
Yeah,
built.
He's a shed. He's a Wendy house of a man.
He's a Wendy house of a man. That is one of your favourites.
He's like a killer whale.
Patrick, do you want to guess in pounds? Do you have any idea of pounds?
No, I'm not really very good with rate, but I'm going to go
do it in stone and I'll
I
convert
said
it for you.
265, which is the upper limit.
Do it in stone and I'll convert it for you.
I'll do pound. 265. 220.
220?
It's like the price is right, innit?
220?
Oh, no. He
220
dies.
for about fucking 10 years.
220.
282. Got on the scales this morning.
282?
282.
That's not good.
Right,
that's like a sea lion.
For those who don't know,
That's what sea lions weigh.
That's like very, very unhealthy. It's very unhealthy.
right, for those who don't know, I've been smashing the gym like it owes me money for the last few weeks, right?
Oh
That doesn't
my
mean
God.
weight,
In that
right?
time,
That's
no.
what you sort of... Like, if you're still taking on more calories...
The reason I said
that
no,
you
I'm not,
burn
though.
whilst going to the
The
gym...
reason I
you
said
don't lose
265
weight.
is because I knew he weighed about 265 before he started at the gym. And I thought he'd put a bit of muscle on, lost a bit of fat, probably about where he was.
No, but
He put on 20 pounds.
I have lost a noticeable amount of body fat. Like when I stand there playing myself in a mirror, I
Were you
go,
wearing metal shoes at the time or something?
mate, I got on the scales this morning and just went, fuck's sake.
Fuck this.
Because I am targeting it by a weight figure that I'm aiming for.
And it's just not happening. It's going the opposite direction.
It's going the opposite way. Because the thing is, because I've not worked hard at the gym properly
That is what it is. You've
for a
just got
long
to eat
time.
less.
It's water retention in a fucking massive way. But it's a nightmare. So anyway, why is he dancing again?
I don't know.
Does he
Would you
wish he
care
worked on
about
an
wrapping it
aircraft
up?
carrier?
We're having
loves
fun.
it.
There's no reason
He's like
to.
beckoning us in.
Shut up.
Oh, okay. Who
We'll be
cares?
ready in an hour.
So yeah, 20 stone. There you go. It's £2 over 20 stone if you want to get technical.
Have we got the 20
Which was a
stone?
fucking figure I never thought I would get
20
to be
stone.
honest.
That's gorgeous, isn't it?
Jesus.
That's nice and round.
Basically, when I was with Brendan and
Steve.
Kane the other day, who both fight at 145, I'm like both of them.
Oh no, that's not good. That's really not good, is it?
Actually
That's really bad.
That's really bad. I think
But they are all muscle.
yeah.
Howson, you need a diet, mate. How about shut up?
Yeah. Steve can mock himself.
Yeah.
But we can't. He's got a bow and arrow.
Someone there says
somewhere.
I have
We're
75
dead.
pounds. No one weighs 75. Maybe that's his bank account. There's no way does he weigh.
I've got
This is
less
a
than that.
2-year-old.
So I'm really interested in this. So I did a bit of Googling this morning because I was fairly alarmed because the weight has been going up a little bit and it was going up once I started back at the gym. It was going up £2 a day. Now that's not body fat. It's not possible to
If you
put
gave
on.
£2 a day to a charity,
Yeah.
World
You'd be
Hunger
skint by the end of the
would be
week.
so fat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you put £2 on a day, you fucking scare yourself when
loving
you
it.
look at the scales.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was going up £2 a day. So I was like, that's not fucking right. And my piss was fucking like tea, to be honest. It was that dark.
Right, yeah.
So dehydrated,
retention stuff.
but water retention. So I was like, how fucking long
wanted
does
more
this
of it.
last? So I don't know how long it lasts, but it's still fucking going up. I'm hoping at some point just fucking like £30 just fucking
if you-
falls
I don't
away.
think it works like that. Though.
What if you burst?
What if I get to £300?
If you get to £300,
If I get to 3 bills, what am I going to do?
you can't. We
you have
can't
to-
let you get to £300.
Yeah.
we have to. We have to.
We'll have it
I'm dropping leg day from the routine because
Just
my
so
legs are fucking large enough anyway. We're dropping leg day and just doing extra cardio.
You just got to eat
If you
less
get to
food
£300,
that puts fat on you.
we're doing something terrible to you. He's just bought. Right, actually, I tell you what we're going to do. He's bought a crossbow for some reason, or
He's bought a bow and arrow.
a bow and
It's a-
arrow,
it's a
and
compact-
not
I don't know
like
where it's gone.
and
Can't
not
hit
like
it.
a little
A
kids like
compact bow
Rufford
and arrow.
Park.
Go find it.
a proper one.
Where is it?
And he's going to have titanium ended.
But what we're going to
arrows
do,
for it.
yeah, we're going to
We're
have
gonna fire it at him.
Yeah, we're going to fire an arrow through your hand. If you get to £300, we're going to arrow you to the
if we
wall.
can fire an arrow through your stomach and it doesn't kill you, there's a problem.
Stomach, and just gravy comes out the hole.
But I've dropped a load of body fat,
Well, that's
which
good.
is mad.
So,
I don't get it.
Is it healthy to not obviously be that way? It's
definitely not healthy to be 282 fucking pounds.
To have a lot of weight, but have it not be fat.
Well, if it's
not.
muscle, it's
but do you
one
know what?
thing.
Because I got that little
basically a
blood
hot
pressure
water
monitor thing,
bottle.
didn't I? Because I was like, Jesus, what the fuck's going on here? And blood pressure is, I think that the correct term is
Fine.
fucking bang
I
on.
know, yeah. That's the annoying
no
thing.
hot-
Because I was a
No hot
fucking
box.
athletic 10 stone ago, like nearly 10 stone ago, my heart's still in fucking good nick. Like, what's this here?
CARDIO, all in caps. Cardio.
It's already
Try
lifting
running,
weights. It's
mate.
already good running rates. Lifting weights. You need to go for a run.
Well, here's the issue. I can't run, which
You
is
have-
one of the
you have
issues
to.
why I put a lot of timber on anyway.
You have to.
No, I physically can't run.
You got to.
The
Can you
injuries
swim?
that I have, I cannot run.
You could maybe swim.
I've got to do the elliptical.
Swimming. Very good for it.
Yeah, but that's
Swimming's
a
really good for
ball
toning and
But
getting.
I'm doing
weight.
the elliptical. I'm smashing the elliptical, and I'm doing quite well on the elliptical. I physically can't run because of my calf issue, but
Welcome to personal time with Stephen Howson.
fuck. I'll talk to you about it. I've been nearly. What is it? How long did we come back? Like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Basically, for 3 weeks, just been absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
smashing it.
become a routine now.
You're going to the gym like every day, basically.
Yeah.
I'll come in. I'll come in, and you'll turn up 15
Or at
minutes
least he
later
comes
after the gym.
Yeah, he comes in gym gear sweating. We don't know he's been to the
That's a
gym.
great point.
We just know he's done.
Just walked past Greg's and got excited.
I get
the McMuffins on that.
Everybody gets excited about Greg's.
Yeah.
You're not really from Manchester if you don't get excited about
No.
Greg's.
Comes in reeking of short crust pastry, pretending
I
he's
love my
been to the
beard.
gym. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the gym.
Personal trainer.
It's just the sweat from eating.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at the moment, £282. I was going to talk about it on Wednesday with Brendan because obviously Brendan's going
Yeah.
through his own weight thing
Yeah.
at the moment,
And you can compare it.
He's like fucking welterweight. He's got to get out of 145. He's got like £30 he needs to shift. So I thought we could have a nice.
Does he know how much you
interesting
weigh?
Brendan.
Yeah. Okay,
We need
good.
Yeah, we've been having a chat with Brendan
crack the
about
heat
it,
up in here, and he needs to wear one of those like tin foil.
Yeah, if he's got one of those
things,
tin
so-
foil things on during the watch along, it's because we're trying to sweat 70 pounds of water out of him. See how that works.
282.
That's insane.
I fought at 170.
Yeah.
I think, Joe, you put a bit of timber on. I don't think it's meant to be what you fought at plus 112 pounds.
My flat doesn't weigh 282 pounds.
There's weight classes at 115 pounds. I don't think you're meant to weigh a weight class more than what you fucking weighed in at.
Your leg shouldn't weigh more than Mighty Mouse, should it?
Steve in MMA soon.
That 90% diet, can we have a fucking conversation about that as well? Because that is absolute bollocks.
What is that? What does that mean?
People say it's 90%. You can't out-train a bad diet. That's something that people say all the fucking time. Well, do you know what? In the army, I had about as much fat as this table had on it.
Yeah.
And my diet was worse than it is now. The only thing that's really wrong about my diet now is there's a couple of pizzas in the mix.
Yeah.
It's energy drinks.
I think
that's the problem.
When people
That's a big thing. Let's talk about energy drinks and you, because that is next level.
I know that's a big thing.
next level.
And that is I'm wearing most of them, right? So that is the fucking big issue with them, is I've got to cut the energy drinks, so you can't just go cold turkey on them.
You've got to wean yourself off them all.
Yeah, that's not a belly. That's a mini fridge full of Red Bull.
Yeah, it is.
It is literally full of Red Bull.
Sugar-free
But,
gonna help
but
that.
you can out-train bad
Yeah,
diets.
but I think that the suggestion is that most people are going to be burning 10,000 calories a day.
Yeah, your body becomes efficient at burning stuff when you're doing it on a regular basis. I just don't have the work capacity at the moment because I've just fucking got no gas tank. Like when I go jitsu or go wrestling, I got a round in me, man, and that is it. Now it's a fucking absolute wild ride for whoever's in that round for that one round. I'm a fucking nightmare.
But then afterwards,
like
single pump.
Me and Brendan have been talking about doing a fucking session with him. I'm gonna wait till he's 44 fucking rounds deep before I step onto the mat.
And then
so have any sort of, if I want to hold him down, he's fucked, right? But if there's anything else goes down,
you know
there's a
what? I
fucking
reckon
issue.
people like that. I reckon he has a way of getting out of that.
Well, we're going to find out. We are going to find out probably after this camp.
MMA later.
In
You're
between
jump off the top rope or something like
it's not that kind of wrestling.
Oh, right,
I'm going to hit him with a chair. So yeah, energy drinks is the big issue, but you can definitely out-train a fucking bad diet without a shadow of a doubt. These guys are all fucking mad in the comments now.
Us talking about random stuff.
Shut the fuck
We've
up.
lost all our viewers. It's all over. We haven't because people actually care about talking.
They want to hear about him admitting that he's, what is it, 2,000, how many pounds was it? 282 pounds?
282 pounds.
People want to hear that.
That is, by a fucking long shot, the heaviest I've ever been.
Yeah. How much do you weigh, do you know?
Very little. To the point.
Do you mean in stone?
I don't know.
If he falls out of bed, it goes down like a dry leaf.
I reckon I'm like on the lower end of a healthy weight for someone my BMI, basically. But I don't know.
Can we get a number?
I am like I can't guess. I don't know stone. I don't know any. I don't know.
Kilograms.
You don't know any measurements of
How many
weight
bags of
at all?
sugar?
I genuinely, it's a weird thing. I just don't
How many
have a
flat
context
pack
of weight.
wardrobes?
I don't know. Probably one.
I think I weigh about 200 pounds.
I am.
You're tall as well, though. So that's
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. If I stand up next to you, I'm tiny, aren't I? So
that's not really interesting because I reckon he's less than 10 stone. I reckon I'm twice.
probably.
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm tiny. I'm stronger than I look, but I'm not big. I'm not bigger than I look. I'm way more. I do. Thank you. All right, Cam's laughing. He's tiny. I don't give a shit. It's true. I don't give a shit.
He's stronger than he looks.
But I
Shit question. You can out-train a bad diet. You can definitely out-train a bad diet.
I am heavier.
But you
You're
can't.
laughing at me. What the hell's going on?
You can't out-train a bad diet by not training. That's the issue.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Okay.
He's threatening people
I'm
now.
threatening people
Let's stop threatening people.
It's little man syndrome.
He's stronger than you look.
You're small.
He's stronger than he looks.
I'm tiny.
Absolutely.
I'm tiny.
Let's not get
Lewis Carroll says, "Can we have a weekly Howson weigh-in, please?" That's what
we should
I was
do.
actually thinking of doing. That's the reason I was bringing it up, not necessarily on here, but what I wanted to do on Wednesdays with Brendan, because we're going to speak to Brendan about the challenges he's got in fight camp, getting down to fighting weight.
Yeah.
And I thought, might as well just fucking throw mine in the mix as well, and see what the crack is. Because I'm going fairly heavy in terms of what I'm doing in the gym, but I'm definitely fucking dropping legs off out of it because my legs are massive anyway. I don't need, and that's muscly massive as well as having a bit of fucking blubber on them.
Yeah.
Even if I was skinny, my legs would still look great. So there's not a fucking. I don't need bigger legs.
No.
It's fucking hard work finding jeans that fit proper anyway. So. You know, I don't need any fucking bigger legs. I think I'm just going to drop legs off the fucking thing.
No
I haven't got that prison body thing going on anyway. So, like, I think I'll cut legs out and I'll probably do an extra fucking elliptical session.
Yeah. Someone there, great point. Howson needs to travel to every club ground by bike. That's how you lose the weight.
No, that's calves and thighs.
great.
Yeah, calves. My calves won't handle
You need to
it.
run there,
great.
or you need to walk there. or
Swim
something.
there.
Walk-
Swim to
walking's
every
good for you.
ground. Just round the outside.
Swim.
Yeah, round the
Hey,
outside of
there's
England.
a guy that's done it. There's a guy that
Ross Edgley swam all the way around Great Britain.
And his
in
mind fell off.
157 days of swimming.
play, that is-
He's a fucking savage and a half.
next level.
Didn't his lips fall off or something?
Tongue.
Oh, even better.
Tongue,
Even
he's-
less dispensable.
He's a very interesting guy.
I'm sure he is.
He's a very, very interesting guy. Steve would need to have to cut to make heavyweight. Correct.
Yeah, I know.
I am what now? Nearly £20 over the upper limit for heavyweight.
How tall are you?
5'11". Or 5'10".
It's like DC, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, me and DC probably fucking not far off. Although I think I'm probably about £40 heavier than him.
I know.
There we go.
And a lot of that weight is in my leg. My legs are fucking very big legs.
Yeah, you got some chunky,
Some fucking
trunks,
chunky
don't you?
rugby player thighs, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's an interesting one.
Right.
Got to be 18 stone. Try 20, brother. Yeah. Do you know what?
Yeah, come on.
It's probably time to wrap it up.
You should show your legs. Someone's waited
I've seen
waiting.
the slack. I've seen the slack, and they're not happy with us.
Asked. You're going to fight me. Casper in the comments says cross-country skiing, Howson.
Oh my
I
God.
will dig out a photo for next
Imagine.
week because I was at the World Championship for cross-country skiing in 2005.
As a competitor?
Yeah.
You were what?
Yeah. Now, this is because the British Army just enters you into events, right?
I just tells you.
This is a lie, by the
No,
way.
I will dig the photo out. I think it was also an article in the MEN as
Can we
well.
put the photo in the comments?
I will when I find it because I've got to go home and there's one at my mum's, but I think I've got the ones with me actually skiing in front of the sign which says it was in Hochfilzen. If anyone wants to Google this,
Did he finish?
Hochfilzen in Austria? No, I finished only a bit behind the guy that was representing Britain in it,
Fair play.
and about 20 people from the army fucking beat him.
Really? Well,
I can't
Cross-country skiing, so
imagine that guy gets much funding.
No, there's two types of cross-country skiing. There's one where you go in the little channels and you fucking shuffle your legs around like that. That's wank, and you look like an
basically
absolute
a tram.
sausage doing that.
oh yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if this story is fucking...
Oh no.
Probably people.
What does this
I
end
think
with?
that's probably a place to end.
Yeah, I think
the
I'll tell you
stream
off
in
air.
that case. There we
Especially
go.
with what's gone on with some people today, I think I'll probably fucking leave it and tell you off air. But the other one was it's called skating. So you slide to one side and use your poles to push
Yeah,
to that
that's
side,
the one.
and then cut to and slide to this side. You're doing like 10, 15, 30 fucking kilometres, and then you're shooting. The army loves you doing that sort of stuff because it's soldiering skills.
Yeah.
Nordic skiing is a soldiering skill.
Welcome to
Fucking
British Army
shooting.
recruitment stream.
Mate, it was the best thing I did. When I joined, my uncle goes, volunteer for everything. And then this thing
fair
come up
play.
was like, who wants to be
Fair
on the ski team? I was like, I do. And they went, have you ever skied? And I was like, nope.
You do it anyway.
And it was like, no one else has applied. In you go.
Okay,
and there you go. So
you
yeah,
go.
there was like 200 fucking something people. I was probably in like the last 20. I
That sounds really good though.
don't give a fuck. I was happy to compete. It was like 35 kilometres.
Where? What country was it? I know you said the place.
Oh,
What
so
country was it?
I ended up, I think I spent nearly 20 weeks away. Went and did like pre-season in Norway, above the Arctic Circle, in like, it's a place called Svignol, if anyone's in, if you've got any Norwegians in, it's a place called Svignol, which is north of
I don't think there's
Lillehammer.
many people left, to be honest with you.
You're wrong, there's 900 people watching.
Well, there you
So,
go. I'm getting told it's bad content by the producers over here.
obviously
There
not.
we
Watch
go.
time through the fucking roof. So a place called Lillehammer, which is where I think
He's
they've
not happy.
all sorts
He
of
is so
events.
not happy.
We spent 6 or 8 weeks there learning how to ski because we didn't fucking know how to ski.
And then you're going to compete in a tournament. So
Came home for Christmas, so that was like November into December.
you forgot all your training.
Came home for Christmas. I grew my fucking hair really long to the point where my bosses was like, "What are you?"
Oh, you're looking like Joe a bit.
I'm a skier now.
I had like it was like early 2000s when it started like a mohawk. Not
So-
a flat.
it's called-
as you
the
go
mullet.
down.
I had a mullet.
Frozen mullet. Just stuck
And
in
then we
one
went out.
position
Check
behind
this out.
you.
No, this was the best bit. We drove from. I think we got the ferry in Newcastle to. I think it was to Germany. I think that's right. Or that might have been to Norway in the first place. Whatever. Went to Germany, south of Germany. Started there. Then we did a bit in Austria, and then we did a bit in Italy, and then a bit in France. A couple of weeks in each one, competing at all sorts of different events. It was fucking sensational. There's a place called Sur Chevalier in southern France, near
Sounds like France.
near Nice, I think.
Yeah.
Sounds very-
It was like
So it sounds very
Magaluf on snow. It was fucking
I think Magaluf is on
outrageously
snow,
good.
isn't it? That's the
Different
problem with it.
kind.
Oh, different kind of snow.
It was fucking mint. The only weird thing about going clubbing in a place in a ski resort is everyone stinks. because everyone's got fucking jumpers on all day and dancing away in the fucking nightclubs.
Yeah.
Everyone just fucking
the
stinks.
steam as well.
Yeah.
So much.
But it's one of the best experiences of my life. Like 20 weeks or so away, just fucking skiing. It was absolutely mint. And then I never did anything like that. And they fucking sent me a wall loads of times. Absolute dicks.
There's Wolves.
Righty. Shall we wrap it up there on that note? Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to come and subscribe, and we will chat all sorts of bollocks again this time next week. Laters.